Hello everyone, welcome to CSC Core Concepts in the series of computer networks. In this video, I am going to discuss about the various network topologies. So to get started with, let us understand what do we mean by a topology. So basically, it is the arrangement of devices and the connections between them in a network. How they are arranged in terms of physical and as well as logically. So essentially, they describe how the network components are laid down and how the data is flowing between them. So to understand a network topology, it is why do we need it? Is that it is very important to for designing a computer network. In case you are designing a local area network or a wide area network, so for designing, management, you should know that which devices are connected with each other, so as that in case of some troubleshooting or any type of problem, you can easily figure it out. And this topology highly impacts the performance of the system, how the network is working, the scalability, that is how you can extend your network or increase your network, and of course the reliability issues. So let us have a look at the various types of network topologies. So they are P2P topology is basically the point-to-point topology. Then we have the bus topology, star, tree, mesh, ring, and hybrid topology. So let us get started with each of them. So let's start with the point-to-point topology. So as its name suggests, it directly links two nodes. So you have two nodes and they are connected to each other. So directly the entire bandwidth is only used by both of them. So physically there is a cable or a wire that connects these two endpoints, and logical topological connection in case of a satellite link or microwaves are also used. So majorly they are used in changing the temperature of an air conditioning unit using a remote control. So you have one dedicated remote control for your AC, or let's say a Bluetooth file transfer. So you are transferring one file from your system to another system using Bluetooth. So those two devices are called as point to point connected. Okay, no other connection is there between them. Then you can have satellite communication between the two ground stations, so where they are broadcasted, or a receiver signal is there. So this type of topology is called as the point to point topology. So it is a dedicated connection between two nodes. Next come, so the advantages of this is obviously the superior bandwidth, where you don't have to share among others, so it is fully dedicated to you, and hence it is very high speed if you compare with the other network topologies, and of course very easy to simple to implement, and easy to maintain and handle. And the latency is quite low, that is the time delay is quite low, as it does not have any other hops, right? And the disadvantage is that it is only possible to be applied in smaller area where nodes are physically connected to each other. If the nodes are very far apart, then it is quite difficult to maintain, and you are highly dependent on that one common link. In case that one common link fails, so your network is down. So these are some of the disadvantages. Let us go to the next topology, that is the bus topology. So where all the nodes are connected using a single cable with a terminator at both ends. So let us see the network, how it looks like. So you can say that this is your common bus. This line is your common bus, and all these are the nodes which are connected to this common bus. So one main cable, it is the common bus, which is also as a backbone of the whole network, right? So any server is transmitting data from one end of the cable in a single direction, and as the data is traveling based on the MAC or the IP address, the data is received or processed. Okay, so server sends the data. So each the data has the receiver's address, and each node connected will match the address if the data belongs to them or not. So if the address of that node does not match with the data's address, then it does not do anything and let go the data, and it If it matches, then it receives the data. So this way only the node that recognizes the address that is using the data on a single cable, right? And once the data reaches, the terminator removes it to prevent the signal bouncing. So the basic advantages of this approach is that if you want to add more devices, that is, if you want to make your system more scalable, you can simply attach it to the bus existing without affecting any existing devices. And but the failure in few devices, suppose some of the nodes are not working today, so that does not slow down your whole network. Okay, that's okay, those nodes are not working, others are working in the network. But the disadvantages are quite few. That is the device failure. If the network's fault, it is difficult to locate which node is not working because all the nodes are commonly attached to that single bus. So in that, in case suppose your network is down, you need to check each and every node what is the problem. Then if the common bus cable, or you can say the backbone cable, if it is damaged, okay, then the entire network is stopped, nothing will work. And the bandwidth required is quite high here because few devices can affect the performance of the whole network. Operations are quite slower because the data is being, the address of the data is checked with all the nodes, and maybe the worst case, if the last node is where the data belongs to, so it has to pass on through all of them. And the privacy is quite low since all the nodes will understand that some data is traveling to so and so destination address. So these are some of the disadvantages of the bus network, bus topology. Then comes your ring topology. So as you can make out from the figure and of course its name, it is linked with the neighbor in the form of a closed network. So the data will move from one node to another node to another node. So the data can flow either unidirectionally or bidirectionally. Unidirectional means only in one direction, or bidirectional means both the direction. So basically they use a token that is transferred from one device to the next device, and the node with the token can only transmit the data. So whichever computer has the token right now, it is only going to transmit the data. Otherwise, what would happen? That if multiple nodes are transmitting the data at the same time, then there can be a collision, right? So in that case, a token is circulated among all the nodes, and the node having the token will only pass the data during that time. And after it is finished, it will pass on that token to the next node. Okay. So it sends back to the server along with an acknowledgement. So any node which wishes to send the data, it will ask the token from the server. And the advantages are that there is a circular flow of data, so there is no packet collision. Okay, only one data is flowing through it. And unidirectional topologies generally are very, very high speed, as you don't have the uplink and the downlink. And robust system, they can handle high number of nodes and heavy traffic. Okay, so you can add as many nodes as you want to in that ring, and faults are located very easily. So because so that troubleshooting is very, very efficient. The disadvantage is that if the single cable fails, then the overall network comes down. Secondly, the unidirectional rails see data packets through numerous nodes, right? Every node is getting that data packet and forwarding. So obviously they can see all the data, and adding, modifying or removing node is difficult because if you want to add a new node, you have to stop the network, break the ring, add it and recreate the ring, right? So it is going to disrupt the whole network. Then comes your star topology. So all the nodes are connected to a central hub. There is a hub, central hub, and using the communication link, all the nodes are attached to each other. So each node needs a separate wire to establish a point-to-point connection with the hub, right? So with the hub, you have a direct point-to-point connection. And if one endpoint wants to transmit data to another, one node wants to send data to another, so it has to send it to the central hub, and the central hub will forward it to the next node. Understood? So the advantages are that the easy network maintenance and management, since every node has their own cable, they are not sharing any cable. So failures, if they are affecting only one device and others are working fine. New device, if you want to add, simply you have to connect to the central hub, and the data transfer is quite faster. And the disadvantage of this approach is that choosing the right central hub is very, very vital, because it has to be compatible with all types of nodes. Let's say if it is a server, it should be compatible with all types of operating system and other different types of node. So you have to choose the central hub very, very efficiently. And there is a high requirement of cables and connectors, because as many number of nodes you have, that many cable or connectors you require to connect to the central hub. And in case the central server or the hub is down, the whole network is down. Okay. Then comes your mesh topology. So you can see they are connected with each other. Every computer is connected to each other, right? So it creates a mesh, and that can send and receive data and relay data from other nodes. So if you have a full mesh network, right? So where every node is connected to each other. Okay, they are usually this type of network is generally used for very, very critical networks, like very high security system, defense system, where there are fewer number of nodes and every node has to be directly connected to each other. You cannot afford to pass your data through other nodes, or share a common channel, because these type of networks are very, very costly. You have so many point to point links. And secondly, maintenance is a challenge, because if some network fails or some cable fails, locating that error is quite difficult. So the advantage is that it is very, very robust and redundant. That is, if you want to pass one data to 5 nodes, 5 times you have to pass through the point to point link. And it is very robust because there is no problem at all, right? Any node and link failure will affect only that to endpoint, right? Highly efficient data transfer. There is no possibility that anybody would peep your data, and it is quite robust. Security is there and privacy is maintained. But the disadvantage is that since all the nodes are connected to each other, you require many cables and input output ports. So, and the installation is quite time consuming and little complex. Maintenance is time consuming and very costly. So that is why they are used only in the special zones. Then comes the tree topology, which is obviously the name suggests tree, so it is a hierarchical type of a structure. So commonly used in very, very large network where the scalability and manageability are important. So the primary purpose is to create large and complex networks, okay, that can span across multiple distance. So you can go in the tree as long depth as you want to. The advantages are that the data traffic are managed very easily because you have specific branches. So you can create them as one cluster. Okay, so you can reduce the congestion, improve the bandwidth, allows logical division. So it is so beautifully divided that this is for one, like if you have a department, so one department is one branch, second department is another branch, to both the departments are connected to a senior manager. So that way a logical division work into small manageable units is there, and they are highly scalable. You can add the extra nodes, extra branches, can accommodate diverse sub networks. So each branch can be considered as a sub network. Where using this approach, you can easily locate the error, right? And security is there, privacy is there, and there is a centralized control, that is the root node, and it is the central control for all the branches. Okay, so it helps in troubleshooting, monitoring, and overall security management. But the disadvantages is that the root node is the single, if it acts as a single point of failure. So in any case, if the root node gets damaged or crashed, the whole network goes down. The parent node malfunctions, then any child node will also stop functioning. So the installation, configuration, maintenance is complex. If you have multiple level, if you have n, the depth is n, okay, and you have n number of nodes, so in that case it is quite a complex configuration for maintenance. And the cost is of course very high, because you have so many branches, so many cables, hubs, you have sub networks, so it is overall the cost increases. But in case if you want a highly manageable and for a different hierarchical type of a structure, tree structure is quite interesting. Then you have the hybrid topology. Hybrid is that when you are mixing multiple topologies. So sometimes if you in your network you want a ring topology, okay, all are connected to each other, and on the other hand you have a star topology, okay, for the staff, right? So that star and the ring should be common, should be matched. So you can use the multiple topologies mixed. So they are called as the hybrid topologies. So such configuration that depends on the requirement. What type of organization is that? What type of system they require. So the most common type of hybrid topologies are the star ring. That combination is quite commonly used, or the star bus is quite commonly used. So the advantage of this hybrid type of topology is that they combine the advantages of multiple topologies, right? So you can have a mix, and it is tailor made, like what you require, what your organization requires, that way you can create it. And obviously this helps in increasing the flexibility of the system and making them more scalable. And the disadvantage is that depending on the configuration, network can be resource intensive to create and maintain. You require more resources. Designs can get more complicated if you have multiple type of topologies mixed, right? So requires compatible cabling and other hardware for inter-topology link, right? So if you are going to mix two topologies, then you require some extra hardware for providing that link. So I hope you understood the different types of topologies of the computer networks and how they are being used with their advantages and disadvantages. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe to CSE Core Concepts. Thank you.